What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. And tonight I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for NXT Deadline. And this is actually the final premium live event of the year for WWE. And I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are thinking, wait a minute, didn't you just do a video already earlier today? Yes I did, but obviously you guys know that every once in a while I like to take a day off from filming and just focus on myself, take it easy a little bit. But we will go back to our regularly scheduled filming on Thursday because we got some breaking news, guys. We got some huge news that I will be talking about on Thursday. But this Sunday, though, I am going to be also talking a little bit more about WWE, but one topic in particular. But that's for Sunday. That's for Thursday. Tonight we got NXT Deadline, and I'm looking at this card right now, and I think honestly this could very may well be the best card we have had for NXT. I think honestly, since since Worlds Collide, because Worlds Collide was a pretty was a banger of a card. I mean, think about what was on that card. You had Tyler Bate versus Bron Breakker in a title unification match. You had Mandy Rose, Meiko Satomura, and Blair Davenport in a triple threat title unification matchup. You had Kaden Carter and Katana Chance against Doudrop and Nikki, back then Nikki ASH, now Nikki Cross, for the women's tag team titles. You had Nathan Fraser versus Axiom. Then of course you had the Creed brothers, Briggs and Jensen, Pretty Deadly, and Gallus title unification match, of course. And then of course you had the North American title match between Carmelo Hayes and Ricochet, which that was a hell of a card. This one just might top it. And actually before we kick it off with the topic of our first matchup, if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. It is totally free to subscribe because obviously if you guys subscribe to my channel, smash that thumbs up button and turn on the notification bell, turning on all notifications, it tells the world that you guys love my content and you guys want to see more. And as always, make sure you guys follow me on my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And make sure you guys check out the community tab. I actually posted a few posts on there within the last couple months. I think I might do a question of the day for tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. Which will be Wednesday, because at the time that I'm recording this video, it's currently Tuesday, December 6th, and it's almost 7:30 right now at night. So tomorrow I'll be posting a question of the day, and I would be grateful if you guys post it in the comments, your thoughts, because what I'm about to ask might be a bit interesting. I'm still working on that question. I got a few question ideas popping in my head. But with that being said, let's get straight into it. Kicking these off, we have a match that is very interesting, I will say. It is Alba Fire versus Isla Dawn. And I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are thinking, wait a minute, Isla Dawn, wasn't she fired or something? Technically she was, because excuse me. Because if you guys recall, her, Blair Davenport, and Amel were a part of a triple threat match. I think. Oh wait. Those three and one other person. They were a part of this like fatal four-way, or maybe it was a triple threat. To determine the number one contender for the NXT UK Women's title. But this was before. Before NXT Worlds Collide, which was basically the end of NXT UK, before the announcement of NXT Europe, which honestly I'm excited for that. But But this is interesting because a few weeks ago, if you guys don't recall, Isla Dawn showed up to NXT and cost Alba Fire the NXT Women's Title by letting Mandy Rose become the last woman standing. And this now ties into the fact that now supposedly Isla Dawn wants the NXT Women's Title. Does she want it? Does she not want it? What are her goals in NXT? Nobody knows, because she is unpredictable. In fact, she's about as unpredictable. Literally, she's about as unpredictable mentally as Ricochet is physically, if that makes sense. Because we all know when it comes to Ricochet and his high flying capabilities, he's pretty unpredictable. Isla Dawn is about the same, but mentally. So it comes down to more of a personal matter, I guess you could say, because Alba Fire wanted to become an NXT Women's Champion. Because if you guys recall, let's go all the way back. Going back in my book here, let's go all the way back to NXT Stand and Deliver, where we had a fatal 4-way match for the NXT Women's Title, which was Mandy Rose, Cora Jade, Alba Fire, originally known as Kaylee Ray, and of course Io Sky, or I guess originally known as Io Shirai, which was a fatal 4-way, and that was what caught that matchup was insane. It was an insane card, and not insane card, and an insane matchup, because this matchup was basically one of Mandy's toughest challenges to date. And I'm gonna be honest, I was vaguely surprised by how that match ended. But now, let's see, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So fast forward now, 8 months later, and now Alba Fire, is now a part of the card. Is now on the card for the last premium live event of 2022. Which is obviously NXT Deadline. But the question is, who wins? Who do I think is gonna win? I mean, based on what we saw earlier tonight on NXT, which spoiler, Isla Dawn did defeat Thea Hale in one-on-one action. But honestly, I think with this matchup, it comes down to who's more hungry for the spotlight, and I think it's got to be Isla Dawn. I think Isla Dawn's more hungry for that spotlight because for one, Isla Dawn had numerous opportunities at the NXT UK Women's Title when NXT UK was around, when she went up against superstars the likes of Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, just to name a few. Even also Alba Fire, where she was Women's Champion. In fact, she's the longest reigning NXT UK Women's Champion of all time. And you guys know there were only 4 NXT UK Women's Champions. In this order: Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Alba Fire, Meiko Satomura, the last champion before NXT UK closed its doors. So, who's more hungry for the spotlight? It's got to be Isla Dawn, because if she loses to Alba Fire this Saturday, there's no telling the terror that she'll be able to cause next Tuesday on NXT moving forward, because that's something that I would not want to see. So my money is on Isla Dawn on this one. Next up, we have probably one of the most unlikely matches you will ever see in NXT history. It is Pretty Deadly, Kit Wilson and Elton Prince defending the NXT Tag Team Titles against arguably one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history. Actually, not just in WWE history, in the entire world. You guys are probably wondering who it is. You guys may believe it's the Usos, but nope. It's the New Day. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and it's interesting because NXT was where Woods got his start in WWE, so I guess it was a bit of a homecoming for him, but this is interesting because this is a match that was just announced earlier tonight on NXT, and we know that Pretty Deadly is a very crafty tag team. We know how crafty they can be in the ring, but we also know how dangerous mentally and physically the New Day can be when that bell rings. So it comes down to who wants the titles more. Honestly, New Day, they don't need, as big of a fan as I am of the New Day, they don't need the NXT tag team titles. They don't need them because they're already the greatest tag team of all time. So why would you guys want to try to win the NXT Tag Team titles, you know? But at the same time, you know, it's like you want to extend your legacy to, you know, not just from Raw to SmackDown, but now from SmackDown over to NXT. And if they do become tag team champions, this will make Kofi's, I believe, his 15th tag team title in WWE overall, because he now ties Edge with 14 tag team titles. So this would make it his 15th, but I believe his 12th with the New Day. So it's gonna be interesting, but it comes down to whose bond is more stronger. Is it Pretty Deadly's bond or is it the New Day's? And I think it's gotta be the New Day's, because with Pretty Deadly, we know how they got their start in WWE. They were a part of NXT UK. They were these, like, virtuous unknowns. We didn't know much about these guys, but once they started to win a few matches here and there on NXT UK, they basically became staples to the red and black brand that was NXT UK, and they became arguably one of the most dominant NXT UK Tag Team Champions of all time. I think honestly second to Gallus, because Gallus dominated the NXT Tag Team division with an iron fist post, you know, literally pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, they dominated. They were extremely dominant. But once COVID struck, everything just went up in smoke, and their reigns as champions basically continued from there, making them the longest reigning tag team champions of all time in NXT UK. So that right there proves that Pretty Deadly was and even still is a force to be reckoned with. So honestly, as big of a fan as I am of the New Day, I gotta go with Pretty Deadly on this one. I think they're gonna be the ones to take to keep the titles away from the New Day. But next up, we've got the not one but two Iron Survivor challenges. Now I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are thinking, wait a minute, what is the Iron Survivor Challenge? Well, in this one, there will be a total of 10 competitors. 5 men, 5 women, obviously in separate matches. The rules are simple. The superstars who drew numbers 1 and 2 will start the match. Every 5 minutes, another competitor will enter. Whoever scores the most falls, whether it's by pinfall, submission, or disqualification, within the 25 minutes, will become the winner and the number 1 contender. For the men, obviously for the NXT title. The women will be for the NXT Women's title. If you win a fall, you get a point. If you lose a fall, then you're in the penalty box for 90 seconds. And this goes on until the 25 minutes expires. So whoever scores the most falls at the end of the 25 minutes, again, as I mentioned, will be the number 1 contenders. For the women, for the women's Iron Survivor Challenge, you've got Zoe Stark, Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Kiana James, and now, as we found out earlier tonight in the triple threat match between Indy Hartwell, Fallon Henley, and Wendy Chu, Indy Hartwell was able to pick up that victory and now is added to the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. For the men's side, we've got Carmelo Hayes, JD McDonough, Grayson Waller, Joe Gacy of Schism, and now obviously with the triple threat match between Axiom, Andre Chase, and of course Von Wagner, Axiom was able to pick up the victory. So with these two matches, who is the odds-on favorite? Obviously we know that Carmelo Hayes is always the talk of social media when it comes to big money matches, and this is going to be no different. Grayson Waller, don't get me wrong, he's a bit of a jackass. Not gonna lie, he's a bit of a jackass, but he can back it up. As crazy as it sounds, the son of a bitch can back it up. JD McDonough, I'm a big fan of his. To be honest, I'm a huge fan, but whether or not he can pull it off, that's up to him. Joe Gacy, though, I don't know. I'm still a little skeptical about him, but Axiom, I think Axiom and Hayes are probably the two odds-on favorites. As far as the women go, hands down Roxanne Perez, because because if you guys remember, the last time she had a shot at the NXT Women's title, she got screwed out of it because of Cora Jade, and she's been trying to get back into title contentions for quite some time, but now she has a chance to be the number one contender. But the question is, who comes out on top? This I cannot predict who wins it. But if I had to pick my odds-on favorite, I would have to say Carmelo Hayes on the men's side. The women's side, don't get me wrong, Roxanne Perez, she has a lot of potential, but I gotta go with Cora Jade. I think Cora Jade, with how I guess conniving, would be the proper term. With how conniving she can be in the ring, she can use that to her advantage. Plain and simple. But now we move on to the NXT title, the main event, Bron Breakker, Apollo Crews. This is interesting because the last time Apollo Crews challenged for the NXT title, it was back in 2016. It was like right around there, and he challenged Finn Balor, and he lost. Whoa, sorry guys, I accidentally kicked my desk. And now we fast forward several years later, he's now going up against Bron Breakker. You may think that these guys are two polar opposites of one another, but let's not forget, they're basically two sides of the same coin. Apollo Crews uses a standing moonsault. Bron Breakker uses a standing moonsault. Power slams, they both use it. So it comes down to who wants it more. Who wants the title more, Bron Breakker or Apollo Crews? I'm gonna be honest here, and I'm being 100% honest. The Raw after WrestleMania, Bron Breakker became NXT champion. He regained the title from Dolph Ziggler, and now now we fast forward like what 8 months later. He's been champion for 8 months, dominated NXT. I'm gonna be honest. I think his time in NXT is up. I think we're gonna see a brand new NXT champion in Apollo Crews. That's just my opinion anyway. But this is Bron Breakker we're talking about here. Anything is possible, anything is possible with him. But that brings me to the question of the day. Among the card as it sits now, because there could be another match on the card, which I highly doubt, who do you see walking out the victors? Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.